Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Falai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Last episode, we found the last possible clue we could have found about Adair's brother. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. He wanted to know why his brother actually went and joined, but we couldn't get that information out of what we found. It was a long shot, and it wasn't enough. I guess sometimes you don't find the answers you're looking for. You just can't. It's a pity. Anyway, we made our way into Cleobon Relag without pissing off the locals, and snuck our way through. Killed all the creatures we found. This is probably where we're going to eventually have to go, but for now, looks like we're going to be heading downstairs to the next level. Let's see what we can find in there. Hopefully we'll find more indication of the Leaden Key, and clues and hints and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if we will or not, but, I mean... Okay, we're probably going to.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
So, let's see here. Big empty hall here. Keep our eyes out for traps. And anything or anyone else around here. Got a door there, and a door there. A series of pictographs, simple but clear, are carved on a column in this alcove. Figures of men and women with their arms raised are carved into the top of the column. Suits of armor in the same pose have been chiseled into the bottom. Okay, that door's locked. Okay, let's go this way first. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. What the hell is this place? Adra grows from a central pillar and seems to spill down the steps. Luminous egg-shaped stones are nested within the rippling aura. Adra. Well, this is a little concerning and raises many questions.
Time to see and not be seen.
And we found Animats. Okay, time to kill some Animats, which, thankfully, we are very strong and able to kill just about all of them. Oh! Scenes from a battle appear on this column. An army of men in loincloths and hides is gathered, dwarfed by a dozen full sets of armor that loom over them. In the descending images, the armors crush the army. Okay.
My thoughts will be
Keep looking around. What have we got in here? An Adra Animat. Okay, this one's actually a little tough. Yeah, this one's actually kind of tough. Okay, down it goes. We got it. And, ooh, what's this? The Core. +2 perception. Interesting.
Let's see what lies this way.
Got some armor there. This looks like a forge. Images of men and women swinging hammers and heating iron over a forge fill this alcove. Fighters in iron, relentless and fierce as the thousands of foes.
Slow and silent.
I think I'm getting a bit of an idea of what this place is. So if we open this door... This clearly seems to head into a central hall. So the other side probably does the same. This is probably one of those kinds of structures that is, like, mirrored on both sides. I can probably pick the lock here.
That's settled.
Yep, that heads into the central area. That central area is just a big ring.
Keeping an eye out.
Okay. Whoop.
Keeping an eye out.
Another Animat. Down it goes. Oh crap, traps. Okay, so one area is more fighty, one area is more trappy. Oh, yep, there's a trap. So this is the trap path if you don't feel confident in your martial skills. To ensure that you always have a way through.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
More phantoms. Quite a few phantoms. And down they go. The pictograms in this alcove portray a procession marching to an altar. A lone figure lies upon the altar, and another member of the procession drives a dagger into his heart. Something flows from the dying man into a white stone perched above the altar. Time was a veil to the godless, no blessings to reap and no mercies to show.
Let's go!
A column of hieroglyphs shows men and women standing in a line and descending into a pool. The figures that emerge below it stand with outstretched arms and triumphantly serene expressions. Okay, that very clearly heads into that central ring.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to our...
Will-o-wisp. I
flame,
haven't
and
seen
sound.
one of those in a while. Let's see. The images in this alcove depict a row of pale stones surrounding a suit of armor. Something flows from the stones and into the armor, imbuing it with a golden halo. 4 egg-shaped stones sit atop short, narrow pedestals. All face an altar in the middle of the room. And what have we got in this room here? This must be the pool that was mentioned.
Back to the wheel with that one.
Okay. Loot this. Leaving their bodies to offer their souls and forsaking the weakness of flesh and enfeebling of bone, the barbarian godless succumbed at last. A man and a woman carved from lustrous Audra pour the contents of a vase at their feet. And we have an Leaden Key here. Probably useful. Okay, so I think I can very clearly see what the hell this place is. This was a place where they made the Animats, and it's pretty clear what it all was. This was the forge where they made the armor that the Animats actually are. Over here, however, was the more questionable process. People would proceed to bathe themselves in this pool, likely to cleanse themselves in some way. Afterwards, they would head over to this altar, where they were killed, and their souls stuck within some sort of egg-shaped stone, which was stored here for a time until the armor was finished making, at which point the armor and the stones would be brought over here, the armor onto the pedestal, and the stones into the holders, and then they would infuse the souls into the armor in order to create the Animats. That seems to be what it was. There seems to be more to this place. Let me drop a save before we walk into whatever is in here. Alright, let's sneak our way into the central area here. And We've got blights. Oh, that is big. A man and a woman carved from lustrous Audra pour the contents of a vase at their feet. Kind of hard to... Oh, there it is. There's the vase. There's the man. There's the woman. Okay. So then what is the purpose of this? Is this just a big display area? A big central area for everyone to walk around? Another rain blight. I don't know why they need the blights in here. Okay, that door was unlocked by the key. It appears to be it. Alright, let's see what's through here.
And what does the flame reveal?
And I just saw people. And here we're going back upstairs. Let's see what we find. I was right. We're on the other side of the river. Let's see what's here. This is probably where we'll find indications of Leaden Key. Oh. Another one of these. Something in the ether hums and buzzes through your teeth. A haze of essence lingers over the body, as faint and insubstantial as a dust plume in a rider's wake. Yet as you draw closer, whispered instructions echo in your ears and anticipation warms your blood. In a vision, you see the same stone machine you approached moments ago, but from a different height and angle, as if through different eyes. You'd heard rumors that some of your brethren were sent here months before, yet you see no sign that anyone has been here. In fact, the cobblestones are covered in a fine layer of dust, ash. You know suddenly what this will cost you, and you are ready. The orders were clear. The effects of the machine in Cleobon Relog were wearing off. A child had been born not far from Deerford recently, its soul intact. The machine would need to be reactivated. You and your companions take up your positions. You share a final look of affirmation between yourselves. They don't know your name, and you don't know theirs, but you know that you're doing the work of the gods together. None of the rest matters. 2 carved bands of stone in the middle of the machine grind into motion. They rotate in opposite directions, picking up speed until they spin like freshly greased carriage wheels. A wind shrieks through the cavern, accelerating with the stone rings. You press your hands to your ears and grit your teeth against the noise. You're about to shut your eyes when you glimpse new movement. Rows of triangular flaps around the machine open like petals. You don't know what's happening in the machine, but you feel a tingling at your extremities. Searing pain spreads through your body, a hot knife separating every tissue and ligament within you. All the while, it feels as if you're falling toward the machine, your stomach mashed against your spine. What happens next is too fast to process. You awaken from the vision to find yourself kneeling and gasping for air. Holding your head, you let the tiles between your knees gradually come into focus. As you catch your breath, you remember the strange scene you saw outside Cleandli, where several robed figures fell amidst a howling Biawak. Looking at the ash scattered across the cavern floor, it is apparent that the Leaden Key has been doing this, whatever it is, all over the Deerwood. So, that's what they're doing here. Okay, taxes collected isn't important. And it's very clear. The Leaden Key are the ones behind the Hollowborn. They're the ones causing all of this. And I'm gonna drop a save before we try whatever this is. Alright, let's see. You hear running water and see a small stream that carves its way into the mountain. Inspect the stream. A shallow bottom flickers and wavers just under the water's edge, but as you look toward the tunnel, the bottom disappears into darkness. From here, it's impossible to tell how deep the stream is. However, a faint light plays along the walls of the tunnel. The echo of rushing water suggests that the tunnel and stream continue for quite some distance. Wade into the tunnel. You take slow, sloshing steps toward the mouth of the tunnel, holding yourself upright while the current tugs at your legs. The cold water leaves you gasping, and as it rises past your waist, you fight to control your breaths. The stream bed soon drops out from under your feet, and the current pushes you toward the tunnel with growing force. Swim into the tunnel. The current pushes you through the tunnel faster and faster, tugging you downward. Over your head, the tunnel narrows and drops, leaving only a thin pocket of air. You take a final deep breath before the current drags you into the depths. Rays of light pierce the darkness, but the current is moving too fast now for you to see more than flickering glimpses as you speed by. You keep your hands in front of yourself and focus on avoiding the jagged rocks that appear suddenly in the darkness, jutting from the walls. A light winks at you up ahead. You're approaching it fast, but it looks to be the mouth of a second, smaller tunnel. You might be able to reach it, but your lungs have started to ache. Grab the edge of the tunnel. You wrap your fingers around the rocks lining the tunnel and peer into it. It terminates in a dead end, but something glints among the rocks at the far side. Reaching it would be a challenge for anyone without strong lung capacity. I'll swim to it. You pull yourself into the tunnel, executing deft scissor kicks while the passage narrows around you. At the end, you find a skeleton with a handle protruding from its ribs. You pull it free and push off from the wall, propelling yourself back toward the main tunnel. Swirling and tumbling through the darkness of the tunnel, you at last see a halo of light above, and you swim and kick toward it. At last, your head breaks the surface. You gulp air into your aching lungs, and you pull yourself to the edge of the pool. Crawling out of the water, you look at the cavern around you as you massage feeling back into your aching, cold-numbed limbs. Okay. And we're over here, then. The Rose of Salt Hollow, a unique morning star. Oh, it heals when we smack people, and does corrode damage. Interesting, but none of us use morning stars. It looks like now we should leave. Let's not head out the front where where the locals are waiting for us. That seems like it would be a very bad idea. But at least we found information here. Alright, and we can jump back across, jump to the other side, clear the gap without incident. Nice and easy. And now we can get out of here. I imagine we could just say something to them. Nope, time for words has ended. Okay, we're leaving. Right then. I suppose what we have to do now is report in. So let's head back to Brackenbury and report in. We'll also rest and sell the stuff we have at the end. Hireling payday. Oh wow, wages are actually surprisingly high. And also the guest we had is now left.
Connor?
Have you ever looked up and felt a sudden surprise at where you are? I think it's just sunk in that I'm a year out from home.
Only every day. You'll get used to it.
Will we now? Will he now? Anyway, let's head in here. We'll sell the loot we have and take a rest that I'm pretty sure is fairly well needed. Alright.
Hail and well met.
Okay, so first we'll do the selling. Sell the 2 traps, and then all of these are going to be sold. It's not much per item, but it is still something. There we go. Sell all the shattered Animat armor. And we're good. 2,800. Perception and stealth, I guess. It's not the best, but the perception helps. Oh, Adair wishes to speak.
Hope I didn't seem ungrateful back there on the battlefield. And you went out of your way.
You had a lot on your mind.
Got real close. Didn't expect that. Now, for a second, I thought I was gonna finally see some answers. Foolish, of course. And why should I get answers? There's a world of Aethasians out there who don't know if their god's been blown up. Still, man can't help looking back. Guess you'd know that well as anyone.
Adair stares off, focusing on some distant thing, unseen and unrealized.
I might have turned my back on my god when he needed me. That's all I'll ever know.
You did what you had to. Even if Leaden was Aethys, his actions were destructive.
His actions didn't seem righteous enough for a god. That's why me and Woden had Widewind figured for a pretender. It didn't occur to me that my god might actually mean to do harm to his own. Something to think about, I guess.
Perhaps so. It really is unfortunate that Adair's search happened to end that way. Like I said, I guess that's the lesson. Sometimes you just have to live knowing that you can never know the answer. Sometimes the answers are just eternally lost to you. Alright, let's report in to the only person we have to talk to. Since we are reporting in to someone about this, and with this being the last one, we'll find out what's going to happen next. Let's just head upstairs and speak with her. Alright, over into here then.
How fares your search?
There's something I can tell you about the Leaden Key's operations.
Well, let's hear it.
The Leaden Key is manipulating a group of Engwithan machines that span the country, and it seems to be causing the Hollowborn epidemic.
I had feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. It seemed too extreme even for them. How naive I've been. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Engwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame Animat for it. As we speak, the Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against Animat. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path for some time. I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed. However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. If you can gain the support of one of those groups, that may be your best way in. See what you can arrange.
I want to discuss the Animancy hearings at the palace.
What of them?
Wouldn't they allow a guest of Dunrid Row into the hearings?
We would only do that as a last resort. Walking in with one of the 3 invited groups puts you in a position of influence. Walking in alone as a representative of Dunreed Row would earn you distrust among all the rest. It seems our organization has a reputation for nosiness and manipulation, for whatever reason.
Whatever reason.
It would be best if people did not see Dunreed Row's hand in this. Easier for them to embrace the truth.
And what is there to know about the Duke?
Avar is many things to many people, and that is why he sits the throne. To the frontiersmen, he is one of their own. To the patriotic, he is a sole descendant of Admeth Hadrit. To the nobility, he is from an old and established family. All of these are half-truths or exaggerations, a tale he has spun around himself.
So he's a politician. Gotcha.
The man behind the tale may not be the greatest mind in Deerwood, but he knows people. He knows when they are sincere and when they lie. He knows when they are strong and when they are weak. The other matters he leaves to me. Outwardly, he prefers to come off a bit of a simpleton. Don't be fooled. Before he was a duke, he was a trapper, and an excellent one at that.
Uh-huh. Alright, I have other
Yes.
questions? No, we do not.
What of them?
Alright, farewell. Okay, so we need to get in with one of the groups. Before I do any further, let me speak
What?
to Durin, see if he has any more to talk about now.
If doubts and curiosity plague you,
Region and its history, no.
I suspect the
Magrin. Does Magrin have any allies?
some, shaped for hunt and war. Abidan the golem, Galawain and his beasts. The latter keeps us honest and awake. The other makes the tools by which we punish those who are not.
Abidan.
Not surprised you haven't heard. More gods than weeds in a field, and those are only the ones of this lifetime. They come and go, but are always here at the same time. Abidan used to look human. Got killed, then built a new body for himself. Transformation with Magrin's help. Perhaps she needed her own blacksmith to tend the fires. If so, Abidan serves it. He's a weapon, a tool, not a god in my mind. Still, the people of Deerwood, the cities especially, hold him dear. So be it. Although if the reward for hard work and craftsmanship is a body like his, I'll keep my blood and my cock and hips to thrust it with.
You also mentioned Galawain.
Monster Father, the Great Hound. And as for monsters, this world has quite a bit, and not just the ones on two legs. It's as if he's made monsters solely to hunt them, to remind men of their place. He's busy making more, I suspect. More monsters than sense, variation upon variation.
What do you mean?
His aspects are a confusing bunch, and considering he respects reversals of fortune, especially in beasts, perhaps not so confusing. No reason why Magrin and he share a bed in my eyes. Even if he does believe in the trial. A filthy Orlan god in many ways, howling and mewling perhaps like they do. They can keep their beasts. I'll take fire and weapons any day.
I wanted to ask you something else about Magrin. Who are her enemies?
Before, when you asked about allies, well now, ally, enemy, that's a skin's edge of difference in history's eye. But there were enemies. Were.
Aelthus. But we sorted that out. Then Hylia and her queen's crown of feathers and birds. Perhaps she claims to see the world from her perch. I hope she saw what happened to Aelthus, and if she dares to walk upon an earth where such fire runs. Her temples are things of windows and twittering music. If a bird falls, know that it's a victory. Seeing another set of darting eyes from that feathered bitch die is a pleasure to me.
You bear her a lot of rage.
She and her clergy offer shelter to the Aelthasian since his death, his humiliation. She's next for me.
I don't think there's anything else we have to talk about, really.
If doubts and curiosity plague you,
Oh, the staff of yours. Can you tell me about it? Durance glances at his staff, then at you, and gives a crooked smile.
Can't take your eyes from it.
Why are those symbols carved on your staff?
carved? This staff is a history. Acts leave their mark. Some symbols fall into the ash, others blaze brighter.
What causes one to fade and another to rise?
Memory, meaning. It's same as the memories in your head, perhaps more trustworthy. Random acts, things done with instinct. They may make lines burning briefly through the wood. Acts devised, planned, that stay with you. Symbols form and tell the story. It's like all memories, except the staff burns it true. When a thought's close, you see it clearer, brighter. Once you forget, they get buried. But like rings in wood, the etchings remain. Keeps me grounded. Also, it's a solid walking stick.
Huh. How is it only Watchers can see the symbols?
They are energies of the spirit, a channel for one's faith. It's hard to say. There was a time when they glowed brighter, but now they are an aid in my work. Because the staff's markings stand out to a watcher, well, they sometimes identify themselves, and sometimes they're blinded to the staff as well. A gift of Margrin, perhaps, to cloak itself from sight when one isn't looking for it.
That large mark there, the 12 circles. What is it?
That symbol, the God Hammer. The 12 circles are a sign of the dozen on the bridge, and the dozen of us that let the hammer fall on them, bridge, God, and all. If there's a symbol that is unlikely to ever fade, it's that one. I thought it might be the last the staff would ever hold. Was holding it that day on the bridge when Aethys fell. It was the spark put to the God Hammer. Might be the last light that touched Aethys before the pyre ate him.
I don't see Mogren's symbol on your staff.
It is there, but marked different. I follow Durance, and in his teachings there is but a single flame, a simpler aspect. Durance would meditate by focusing on a single flame and attach meaning to it. It was something to center the spirit for what was to come.
For what was to come?
The flame is intended to symbolize bringing punishment to another, and it is inscribed above the symbol of the one being punished, marking them as always touched by Margrin.
I suspect the answer.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here, because it has gone on long enough. A little longer than the last one, admittedly, but that's perfectly fine. Next episode, well, we have a choice to make. Who are we going to follow, and who are we going to help in order to get into the discussion on animancy?
Got it.
That we'll figure out in the next episode. But until then, I am Chester44, also known as Falai. That is Laniara, Adair, Kana, Durance, the Grieving Mother, and Sagani. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time.